All right, let's jump right in. We've got a breaking story in the world of artificial intelligence, and it's a big one. A massive, multi-million-dollar push to tackle the AI safety problem. Now, this isn't your typical funding announcement. Nope, this is a really strategic move aimed at securing our future with advanced AI. So, let's dig into the details.
So, what are we looking at here? The headline is simple but powerful, a major financial commitment to finally get ahead of the safety and security risks of advanced AI. We're talking about a multi-million-dollar shot in the arm, and you better believe it's being deployed for a very, very specific and urgent mission.
Okay, so what are we really talking about in terms of numbers? Let's break down the core of this grant. $7.5 million. That's the number. And get this grant is coming directly from OpenAI, one of the world's leading AI labs. This signals a really serious commitment from a major player in the industry. It's a huge move, and honestly, it tells us a lot about how the very people building this tech are thinking about the safety challenge.
Now, this money isn't just a blank check for, whatever. It's for a very specific purpose, to fund independent research into mitigating the risks from what's known as misaligned AI. So, what does that even mean? What's the actual problem this research is trying to solve?
And what's really crucial to understand here is that this isn't just one organization going it alone. No way. This is a full-on global collaboration. We're seeing key players from industry, government, and philanthropy all coming together to tackle this thing head-on.
So here's the who's who of this whole operation. You've got OpenAI as the funder, putting up that $7.5 million. That money then goes into the Alignment Project, which is this big global fund set up by the UK's AI Security Institute. And then you have Renaissance Philanthropy handling all the administration. See, it's this powerful cross-sector team-up, which, let's be real, is exactly what you need for a problem of this magnitude.
Which brings us to the fundamental why behind all of this. Right? You have all these major players coming together for one reason, to solve what's known as the AI alignment challenge. And that right there is the million-dollar question, or I guess the $7.5 million question. We hear this term AI alignment thrown around all the time, but what does it actually mean? Why is it so important that people are dropping millions of dollars to try and solve it?
Okay, let's boil it down. In simple terms, it's really all about this. As AI systems get way smarter and more independent, the alignment challenge is about making absolutely certain that they stay safe, that they actually do what we want them to do, and that everything they do is ultimately good for humanity. So the bottom line is, it's all about managing the risks that come with super capable AI in the future.
So you might be thinking, okay, I get the problem, but what's the strategy here? Why fund independent research? I mean, why not just have the big AI labs that are building these things do all the safety work themselves?
Well, it really comes down to two different but complementary approaches. Think of it like two sides of the same coin. And this is super important. On one side, you've got the research happening inside the big frontier labs. Of course, they have access to the most powerful models, the most compute, all the good stuff. But their work is always going to be tied to their own model building. It just is. But on the other side, you have independent research. And this is so crucial, because these are the folks who can test totally different ideas, explore those wild, blue sky concepts that just wouldn't fit on a corporate roadmap. They can do what's called uncorrelated work, which basically just means it's not tied to any one company's agenda. To have a truly healthy safety ecosystem, you absolutely, positively need both. And there's a quote that just perfectly captures the urgency of the moment. It goes, "The problem of AI alignment and safety is of unprecedented importance, and we need all hands on deck." I mean, that says it all, right? This challenge is just way too big for any one company or any one country to solve alone. It's got to be a massive collective effort. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the broader impact here. Because this $7.5 million, as big as it sounds, is actually just one piece of a much larger puzzle. It's signaling a huge global push for AI safety. You see, this grant is being added to a much larger fund, the Alignment Project, which is receiving the money, has now raised over £27 million. Just think about that. This makes it one of the largest dedicated funds for independent AI safety research anywhere in the world. So yeah, we're not talking about some small one-off project here. This is a serious, globally coordinated effort to try and get ahead of this problem before it's too late.
And just look at the kinds of fields they're funding. It's not just computer science, not by a long shot. We're talking cognitive science, economic and game theory, information theory and cryptography, computational complexity theory. The list goes on. And what that tells you is that the people in charge of this see alignment not as just a technical coding problem, but as a deeply, deeply interdisciplinary challenge that needs ideas from all over the map.
And all of this, all this money, all this collaboration, it really brings us to the one critical question that this whole thing is trying to answer. As AI capabilities keep accelerating at this just mind-boggling rate, can our safety efforts actually keep up? Can we keep pace? That is the fundamental challenge of our time. And this funding, well, it's a major new move in the race to answer yes.